We will now begin the International Speech Contest. Our first speaker, Jakob Puckett. A little more attitude. A little more attitude. Jakob Puckett.
I left a lot behind when I first started college. I left my friends behind. I chose to go to Wright State University, and literally all of my friends went to the University of Cincinnati. My friends from where I lived at the time went there, and my childhood friends from my hometown all went there. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, in a sea of 18,000 people, I knew nobody. Now, first, I wasn't too thrilled about this. My mindset was, great, I have to start all over again. But after the first few days, I changed my attitude completely. And now it was, great, I get to start all over again. I knew I had to make new connections, so I started taking just about every new opportunity that I could find. Open gym. I'm there. Open tryouts for a theater production. I'm there. Open spot on a spring break trip. I'm there. I started to eat lunch with strangers, and I made a number of new friends that I still see on a regular basis. But it was the change in my attitude that made all the difference. My attitude changed the way I started college. Fast forward a year, and I'm boarding a plane to fly back from DC. I'm sitting in the aisle seat, and all I want to do right now is just work on the rap song that I'm writing. Now, I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes. I can rap. But then out of the corner of my eye, I noticed these two kids sitting across from me, not so subtly trying to get my attention. I tried to ignore them at first, but then the pilot announces, weather, delay. Great, so now I'm stuck in an airplane with the impossible task of focusing, while seated right across from me are these two kids with enough energy to drive all the passengers crazy. After I accepted my fate, that I was trapped, I decided to change my attitude. Instead of being annoyed with them, I acknowledged them. I started talking to them, and they told me about what they did with their free time, and I told them stories about how I got my scars. We went back inside the terminal to keep waiting. We had a push-up contest. I won. And then we did some card games and magic tricks. And by the time the delay was finally over, I had entertained Lee and Lily for 3 hours. Yeah, they had fun. And the other passengers, thank you. But it was the change in my attitude that made all the difference. Right before high school graduation, my father shared with me a quote about how your attitude shapes who you are. It was Chuck Swindoll who once said, "I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it." We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. No, we cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is to play on the one string that we have. And that's our attitude. Your attitude can change the way you see the world. It can change the way you see other people. Instead of seeing other people as obstacles or a hindrance, you can choose to approach the situation differently. Because when you look into people's eyes and see the joy and pain, the beauty and the suffering, when you listen to their stories and hear their tales of triumph and their times of trial, a negative attitude withers. And the man who bumped you on the sidewalk is no longer an obstacle. And the woman walking slowly right in front of you is no longer a hindrance. Friends, the attitude you have is a choice you make. You can choose to find significance instead of worthlessness. You can choose to be grateful instead of unappreciative. You can choose to find opportunity instead of misfortune. And so the next time that you're faced with a daunting challenge or an annoying situation, remember that a change in your attitude can make all the difference. They can change the soundtrack of your life. And you don't have to play a stringed instrument to set the right tune. But you can play on the one string that you have. Your attitude. Your attitude can change the way you see the world. Contest chair.